Welcome to Living Stones, a profile of those who are helping build this spiritual house. Now, another living stone. You may have seen Elizabeth Marshal greeting others at Restoration Church, but what you may not be aware of is that she has a Sewing Life group that meets on Wednesday nights at 6:30 p.m. When asked what the reason for this group is, she shared that there are a few.
Well, I would say it's threefold.
Okay.
2 years ago, when we came to Restoration, they were putting forth a vision which included creativity, generations, and missions. And as I sat listening to that, I'm going, my ideas would fit perfectly into this vision. And so after we'd been here a couple of years, I submitted a plan for a life group. Okay. And the creativity is obvious. You learn to use your creativity through sewing. Generations, older people teaching younger people how to do a specific item, in this particular case, sewing. I've been sewing for over 50 years. And then missions. And in the class, in the process of learning how to sew, we make items that we send on to missions.
What's your testimony of the Lord? I mean, how does your relationship with the Lord and sewing, how does that kind of come together? How does that stitch together, if I can use that term?
Okay. I gave my heart to the Lord when I was 3 years old. I've always had a draw for knowing God. Mm-hmm. And I've had about 4 very significant events in my life which moved me along into a greater knowledge and relationship with God and Jesus. What I've discovered in my sewing is that I partner with Him to make these beautiful items. It used to be people would say, "Oh, you sew so well," and I go, "Oh, it's nothing." And the Lord chastised me, and He said, "This is a gifting I've given you. Do not put it down." And so then I changed my thinking. I began to glory in the results. And I'll say, "Lord, ooh, this is you and I did a good job." And so it's very fun for me. I know it's a gifting in other people. We see that even way back in the Bible, where God was instructing the Israelites, and He said, "Set apart Bezalel and his workers to create the items for the tabernacle, including the items that were sewn." He had that anointing to make those items that God wanted. And you see that come through in sewing and in various craftings.
Is it cheaper to make what you're making through sewing, or just to go down here to Kmart or Walmart and buy stuff? Why should a person learn how to sew when it seems easier to go buy something? What do you think about that?
Well, first of all, things that you make yourself, if you've learned the right way, are constructed far better than anything you buy in the store.
Okay.
Except for maybe extremely expensive garments. I want to say yes and no to, is it cheaper? It depends.
It depends. Okay.
Patterns are horribly expensive now. $10, $12, $15. But I never buy a pattern unless it's $1.99 or less. The stores always have them on sale, and I wait until I can get that price. Fabric goes on sale. You can use your 40% off coupons that you can download off the internet for like Hobby Lobby. Hancock allows you to use competitors' coupons, so there are ways to make it cheaper. Go buy a $1.99 t-shirt like I just did last weekend. You can't make a t-shirt for $1.99. So it just depends.
It just depends. Can anyone come and learn how to sew?
Yes.
Even guys?
Yes, even guys.
Guys.
I have a student right now who is a fellow.
Uh-huh.
And he is learning quite readily and expertly.
Wow.
And so it's way fun.
What is it that they learn
This is for beginners,
This-
as well as people who already know how to sew.
Okay.
So for my very first class, it was Know Your Sewing Machine. And we just learned all the parts of the machine and what they're used for, how to thread the machine and that kind of thing. Then we went to a very easy project, which was to make a pillowcase. And that is straight stitching. So they learn to control the machine, they learn how big a seam to make, and then we move on to more complicated things. And until now, this semester, my students are making shirts.
Okay. Okay. Have you done anything with, or is it they're just learning how to sew now and they haven't done anything? Has it already been used?
Oh yes, at Christmas time we sent 30 pillowcase dresses in the Samaritan's Purse Christmas boxes.
Oh.
And then 2 weeks ago we sent 30 more pillowcase dresses and 12 shortened shirt combos to Nicaragua with another missionary. And we have a goal to send another group of them to Cuba when our missions team goes this coming summer. And then my grandchildren are also going to Nepal, and I may send a bunch of those if our class gets them made.
Do you see it expanding? Where do you see this ministry going 6 months to a year from now?
I do see it expanding. The Lord gave me a vision where I saw tables all over, say maybe our foyer, or I don't know where it was, but anyway, and some people were cutting out the armholes in the pillowcase dresses, others were stitching on the binding, others were putting in the ribbons, and it's coming together without any effort. I am already going to give a program on pillowcase dresses to 2 women's groups.
Wow.
And it's important because all these old pillowcases that were embroidered and cross-stitched just sit in people's closets. And now they can be re-gifted, so to speak.
You don't have to go down and buy new material for these pillowcase dresses.
No.
So what can you do? You find old pillowcases, you'll take those?
Yes. Well, I want to say gently used.
Gently used.
Or new. The ones we started with were brand new. My friend's mother died, and she found in her stuff all these pillowcases that she'd embroidered and never given to anybody. So, I mean, they're going to be worn by little girls, so they need to be sturdy, not worn out. Yes.
As you can see, Elizabeth is a great example of a living stone. And thanks to her Sewing Life group and the students there, she is helping stitch together many lives. Thank you for watching this video profile of a living stone who is helping build this spiritual house.